Perfect. I'm just going to give folks a couple of seconds to finish the poll because I see some people responding. Thank you. I'm going to give it 10 seconds. 10 seconds to input your response. 3 seconds. Okay, thanks everybody. And here's the results. So that's great. The majority of folks have a credit card already. So I think this will be good information for you folks. And for those of you who do not yet have a credit card, I hope that this information will be useful to you. Take it over, Fairness.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Jeff. All right. Can you see my screen there? I think Jeff is the only one who can.
Yeah, it's on the screen.
Awesome. All right. Thank you so much for everyone who joined us via Zoom and everyone who's watching us live. If you're coming back and have been with us from the beginning of session, welcome back. If you're new, welcome to our discussion series, Credit Cards Part 2, and happy lunch hour. My name is Farah Naz. I'm the Outreach Coordinator for Recognition Counts program at Seed Winnipeg, and I do have my awesome colleague here, Jeff Pattison, who's the loan coordinator for Recognition Counts. And we are going to continue with our credit card discussion. We started on, I think it was December 7th. So since I last saw you all, Happy New Year. If you have missed participating in our last few sessions, so please do visit Seed Winnipeg website page as they are recorded there, so you can catch up there. My colleague may be able to provide put those links on the chat so you can easily access them through chat if you are joining us via Zoom. Again, the sessions will be informative and interactive, where I will provide information about credit and loans I got from the Financial Consumer Agency of Canada, and Jeff will share his perspective based on his previous work experience working at financial industries for many, many years. So we are lucky to have you, Jeff, here. Let's begin our session with the land acknowledgement today. Seed respectfully acknowledges that we live and work on the territories and homeland of Indigenous peoples, and that the land and water sustain us. We respect the treaties as intended by Indigenous peoples. It is our responsibility to understand the truth of our history, be aware of the present, and work with Indigenous peoples to make positive changes for the future. All right, so we discussed on December 7th about how credit cards work, types of credit card transactions, cash advance. So today we are going to discuss about what are credit card score. We are going to discuss about interest rates, fees and penalties. My apology, I'm not sure what I was thinking about. And we are discussing about rewards and benefits and your rights and responsibilities of having credit cards. So let's start about interest rates. Interest rate is the money you will pay if you don't pay your credit card balance in full by the due time. You will continue to pay interest until you pay your balance back in full. Interest rate vary depending on your financial institution and type of transactions you are going to do. For example, generally the interest rate is set as 19.99% for regular credit cards. And if you do any sort of cash advance transaction, or if you take cash out of your credit card, then your interest rate is going to up to 22.9%, which is almost 23% there. And you will have a little bit of interest-free time period, which is called as grace period. What does that mean? So when you make a new purchase with your credit card, you have an interest-free grace period time where you don't have to worry about paying any sort of interest on that. And the grace period begins on the last day of your billing period. And you can find this information on your credit card statements, where on the due date it says and the date it has to be paid. It will be provided there. So federally regulated financial institutions, such as banks, must provide a minimum of 21 days grace period. So you will have at least 21 days to pay the entire balance back without paying any sort of interest on that. So keep in mind, if you don't make your required minimum monthly payments by the due date, your interest rate may increase. That again depends on your financial institution. And interest rates will usually increase by 5%, but the increase can be higher. Again, it depends on your financial institutions. And interest rate increases can be different depending on the type of credit card you also have. And the increase may be temporary or maybe it's permanent. And keep in mind, if you don't pay your credit card, let's say for the due date, and then next month you don't pay it again, next month you don't pay it again, your interest will keep going up and up and up. You will get to the point where you will be paying a lot of money on interest. So make sure when you are using your credit card before its due date, make sure you pay it in order to avoid all those debts. So a credit card's interest rate may be an important factor for you if you regularly carry a balance. That means you use your credit card for $1,000 and you are not able to pay this month. So it's going to carry forward for next month. So you have to be paying whatever you're going to use next month, plus that $1,000 that you weren't able to pay the previous month. And the higher the interest rate, the more interest you will pay on an outstanding balance. So keep in mind, if you carry any sort of balance forward, then the lower the interest pay, it means you may save money over time. On the other hand, the interest rate may not be an important factor when you choose a credit card. If you pay your balance in full every month before the due date, or you are not going to take any sort of cash from your credit card, that's called cash advance, or do any sort of cash-like transactions. For instance, what does cash-like transactions mean? I go to my online banking and I need to pay my Rogers bill. And instead of using my checking account, I use my credit card. That is cash-like transactions. That means I am taking cash out of my credit card and paying it through my online banking. And there are many credit cards with low interest rates available. Some low rate cards charge an annual fee because of this privilege of having low interest rate. And some institutions, they might not even charge you any sort of fee. Even if there is a fee, if you always carry forward balance, you will be better off to use a low interest rate credit card. And also, some credit cards feature low interest rates for a limited time, and this is to encourage you to apply for a card or to transfer your current balance to the new card to benefit from the lower interest rate. Generally, the low interest rate will apply for a limited time only, and it typically applies for between 6 to 12 months. And the rate will usually increase once the introductory period ends. In some cases, the introductory rate ends if you go over your credit card limit or make a late payment. So make sure if you get any sort of low interest rate credit card offer, you ask about all these criteria and discuss about these with your financial advisor before signing any sort of agreement. Maybe like that credit card will they will offer you a very attractive low rate credit card, and in a fine print they says, oh, it's going to be for 6 months, and you're thinking it's going to be forever. And after 6 months, it's going to be going back to the normal rate, and you have a very high outstanding balance there that you have to be paying with the regular interest rate, which is really hard at that moment to take care. So before you sign on anything, make sure you ask any question you have and discuss about those options with your financial advisors. And here we have put an example here, and this example is for compare low interest rate cards and standard cards. All right, so I'm going to read it here. Suppose you regularly carry a balance on your credit card. Your credit card has an interest rate of 21% with no annual fee. You want to pay off your balance in 1 year and are considering switching to a low interest rate card with a 9% interest rate and a $50 annual fee. So in this table, we compare the total cost of your current credit card with a low rate credit card over a 1 year period. So in here, you see the type of credit card, balance owing. I am quickly gonna go and get my laser. I'm gonna be a little bit fancy there. So the balance owing for a current credit card you have, it's 4,000. And the interest rate on that is 21%. While for the low interest rate card, you still have a balance owing is 4,000, but the interest rate is 9%. The annual fee for the current credit card you have is $0, but for the low interest rate card, it is $50. And the interest you paid because of this 21%, you are going to pay $472 on this balance owing of 4,000, while for the low interest rate card, you'll be only paying $199 because of the 9% interest on that balance owing. So the total cost to pay off your balance that includes your annual fee, which means they added this plus this, it gives you, and plus the balance owing, you will be paying $4,472. While for the low interest rate, you are paying $4,249. So in this example, you can see you are paying $273 less in interest with the low interest rate card. And this is even with the $50 annual fee. So keep in mind that this example assumes you don't use your credit card while you pay down your balance, meaning that it will stay as a 4,000. So even though in this example, it shows that even though you are paying an annual fee on a low interest rate on this outstanding balance kind of credit card, you're still better off. You're still paying $273 less in interest compared to the current credit card you have, which you are paying 21%. And Jeff, you have anything to add, or anyone has anything on the chat before I move to another topic here?
Yeah, I would just add that this example is based on a person who is carrying a balance. So usually people have a credit card, they pay off the balance every month, so they don't have to pay any interest at all. So this example is for folks that might be in that position of having to carry a balance month to month to month.
Thank you for clarifying that, Jeff. All right, and the fees and penalties on credit card. There are fees like reprinting fees your financial institution may charge you when you ask for copies of certain documents, such as reprinting statements. I know nowadays we are more attracted towards electronic statements where we request that, can I receive my statement via my email or via online banking, which it's better, like you don't have to worry about, when I have to remember when am I receiving my mail for my statement. So all you have to do is just log into your online banking, click on your statements and choose your credit card. You will be able to see that there. But if you request to reprint that your statement, then your institution may charge. So if you need that, make sure you ask your financial advisor or your bank before requesting. So they will be able to give you an answer of how much they will charge you. So receipts from transactions on previous statements, they might cost a little bit of fee over the limit fees. It's your responsibility to pay attention on your balance and stay within your limit. If you go over your limit, you may have to pay an over the limit fee. So again, ask your financial institution if it's possible to stop and um, over the limit on your credit card. So once you reach to your limit, you don't go over that. So you don't have to worry about any sort of fee or going over the limit of your credit card. And it's, as Jeff last time mentioned, it's always a good idea to not go over 60% of your credit card limit. And even also if ask your also financial advisor what are the fees for going over the limit in case they don't have the option of putting an over limit option on your credit card. Your financial institution may charge you a fee to handle a payment that's dishonored or something that bounces back on your credit card. This fee applies if you make your payment by credit card check and the check is returned because of the non-sufficient funds. I personally haven't seen any personal credit card being able to write a check. I'm not sure about Jeff's experience, but I've seen businesses being able to write check through their credit card. And also, if you make any sort of payment by setting up a pre-authorized debit, but you don't have enough funds on your credit card, so it bounces back, they might charge you a non-sufficient funds fee as well. Use a credit card check for a cash advance and your financial institution returns the check because you're over your limit. Having an active account, meaning you haven't used your credit card for a long time, they might charge you some sort of fees. There might be a fee to transfer balance when you pay off your balance from your current credit card by transferring it to a new credit card that generally has a lower rate. Usually people prefer to actually move into a lower rate because they have some sort of balance. They wanted to save some amount of money on interest payments. For example, let's say if you transfer $1,000 balance to a different credit card with a balance transfer, they might have a balance transfer fee of certain amount, let's say 3%. So you will be charged $30 on that $1,000 balance that you are transferring. And also there are many other fees that you have to pay. We did discuss about cash advance fees last session. If you use your credit card to do foreign currency transactions, usually people purchase stuff in US dollars, there will be foreign currency charges as well. All right, credit card rewards and benefits. What is a reward? A reward card allows you to earn discounts on products and services or get cash back when you use the card to purchase goods and services. Credit cards may also come with benefits such as travel insurance or rental insurance. You may have to pay an annual fee for certain kind of premium credit card. These are the things that based on your situation, based on your condition, see what would be good for you and is it worth it for me to actually pay for that annual fee. So before you choose a credit card for its rewards program or benefits, consider the following. If you carry a monthly balance, then the interest you will pay may reduce the value of the card's rewards or benefits. The card's annual fee may be more than the value you earn with points or miles. How often you expect to use the card's benefits, such as you are interested in a rental car insurance. Are you really going to use that? Or there is like a flight, some credit cards has flight benefits where they will give you a privilege on choosing your seat, on having travel insurance. But keep in mind, are you gonna use that? Is it worth it for me to pay that $120 annual fee and then have all those benefits and use them? Or is it not really, I'm not gonna really use it? For example, I used to have a premium travel insurance credit card, where it came with 15 days of like a travel insurance. But especially during COVID, I barely traveled. So I went ahead and downgraded my credit card so I didn't have to pay certain amount there. So think about how likely you are to use each benefit, how long it will take you to earn rewards. If you already have access to the benefits some other way, for instance, I already have a travel insurance from my work, so I didn't need that my credit card travel insurance. If there are any restrictions or limitations such as fees or charges that might reduce the value of rewards and benefits, make sure you read all the terms and conditions of your credit card application and agreement very carefully, especially the fine prints, because there are things that's very important, but we don't usually pay attention on that. And even if you are still don't still you have a question, make sure you ask your bank, make sure you ask your financial advisors there. Jeff, how are we doing on time plus any question on the
No questions, and 7 minutes till 12:30.
7 minutes to 12:30? All right, so I am going to share one example. I have provided many examples in here. I don't think we will have time to continue, just one example, and then we will get to open the floor and see if anyone has a question on the Zoom and anyone on live. So this example is your credit card has a $25 annual fee. For every dollar you spend, you earn 10 points at the grocery store. So you are receiving grocery rewards. Every 10,000 points gets you $10 off your grocery bill. In a year, you make 4,000 worth of purchases with your credit card. You'd earn $40 worth of rewards. The rewards are worth $40, but after you factor in the annual fee of $25, your total benefit is $15. Also, if a merchant chooses to surcharge for paying with a credit card, except in Quebec, you could end up paying up to 2.4% more for each purchase. So the percentage may vary from one merchant to another, depending on the credit card you use for the purchase. So in this case, in this scenario, the person has been better off by saving like a $25 and by saving $15 after there has been a subtraction of a annual fee. So it means like this works very well for this person. I am going to stop sharing. I saw someone raise their hand there. We're going to open the floor to you all since we have 5 minutes left. So you can ask your question. All right. Not sure who raised their question.
Yeah, the person
Raised
put
their
their
hand.
hand down, but there was a question in the chat about what is cash back. So I just answered in the chat that cash back is when you use your credit card to withdraw cash. So that might be at an ATM or going into the branch of the bank or credit union that's issued the card and doing a transaction over the counter with a teller to take cash out. That's different from using the card to make purchases. For example, when you are making a purchase online, or you're tapping or swiping or using your chip card at a store to make a purchase. Those are purchase transactions, not cash advance transactions.
And how about cash back MasterCard, Jeff?
Sorry, I don't
That's a
understand the
type of,
question.
I believe like so I think you explained the cash advance kind of transaction, is it correct?
Yeah, the question was, what is cash back?
Oh, okay. Because like I'm not sure if the person is actually asking about cash advance or a cashback MasterCard, where it's a type of benefit that they are receiving when they are using their MasterCard. It's
Yeah,
a
it could
reward.
be. Yeah, it could be exactly like what you were describing before about the rewards cards that earn points and whatnot.
Mhm,
Like credit cards will have an issuer, like a
mhm.
Visa or a MasterCard, or two of the most popular, American Express. Not only will it be an issuer, but there's usually some type of financial institution behind that credit card. So for example, RBC Visa, Assiniboine Credit Union Visa, things like that. So there's an issuer, there's a financial institution, and then there's a credit card type. And so that credit card type could be a cashback, low interest, rewards, elite. Like there's a million names for what credit cards, how credit cards will market themselves. And they use the name of their card as part of their marketing. So if you see a name of a card that has cash back in it, probably the main feature of that card is some type of cashback reward where you're getting a certain percentage of your purchases back in cash.
Absolutely. It's like a rewards point, but different and a way of receiving cash, as Jeff explained. For rewards points, you receive points instead of cash back. While it's not really cash, it's actually saves on the side of your statement. And at the end of the monthly cycle, you can pay back your, I think it usually goes back to your outstanding balance there.
Yeah, there's usually a process to redeem those
Mhm.
rewards. It's not an automatic payment or anything like that. Normally, you have to log into your credit card account, and
Mhm.
there will be an option in that account to redeem rewards. And just like Farnaz said, with cash back, the cash isn't cash that's given to you, but it's a transaction that is applied to your credit card. So if you have rewards that equals $100 of cash back and you redeem that $100, what will happen is when that transaction goes through, it'll be a credit of $100 to
Mhm.
your credit card. So that means that you'll have $100 less to pay on that month's bill.
Absolutely. Thank you. And actually, we are going to, this session, we are not going to have enough time. Next session, we are going to go to FCAC website, and actually we will look into the tool they have that we can look comparing credit cards, and we're going to set up a few scenarios. You're more than welcome to share any sort of scenario you would like us to try it out. And we will see what kind of credit card, MasterCard will be best for that situation or scenario. And we will look into the features, we will look into the criterias, we will look into how are the benefits work, all those detailed information that's needed. As well as one more thing I wanted to add on rewards points. So rewards points, you can redeem it for many different ways. Like you can redeem it to purchase flight tickets, you can redeem it to pay back your credit card, you can redeem it to pay certain bills. And again, it depends on your financial institution, how they are going to set it up for you. My advice is always make sure you reach out to a financial advisor within your financial institution, build a good connection, build a relationship with them, and ask any question that is confusing you or ask any question that's making you curious, learn and start from today. Do we have any other question there before we wrap it up, Jeff? Anyone else has any question on the Zoom here that they wanted to speak up and ask before we wrap it up?
Nothing in the chat, and I don't see any hands up right now.
Oh,
I did put
wonderful.
our contact information in the chat. So if you'd like to speak to us, one-on-one about your particular situation at some point in the future, feel free to reach out to us directly. I've also put the website for the Recognition Counts program, which is the program that Farnaz and I do all the time, helping internationally trained professionals with a loan that helps them pay for their foreign credential recognition process. So talk to us about that if that's something that sounds interesting to you.
Thank you, Jeff, for that. Again, reach us if you wanted to discuss further. If you have a further question, we are more than happy to talk. Other than that, we wish you a happy Wednesday and looking forward to see you again on March 1st and then first Wednesday of the month. See you all. Have a wonderful lunchtime.